Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You got to check out this video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com because we're starting off your morning with a little comedy. A little mashup. Comedy musician, YouTube star Andy came up with the idea to take the vocal track from Danzig's Mother and mix it with the instrumental of the theme song for the Brady Bunch.
I'm already sold and I haven't even heard the damn thing.
Oh, no.
He's got a great name for it, though. He calls it Janzig.
Oh, because of Jan.
Yeah, Jan Brady.
Was she the middle sister?
She was.
Yeah.
She was my favorite.
Yeah, she was
always mad at Marsha.
F. Marsha.
That's what she was, yeah. So, I mean, it's so fun. Of course.
Somebody even did like a Photoshop job where it's Danzig's body, but with Jan Brady's head on it. And it's very disturbing.
It is, because it almost looks natural.
It looks very... Everything about it is wrong.
It's a good Photoshop, though.
It's an incredible Photoshop. That's why it's so disturbing.
Yeah, so this is Janzig, a mashup of Danzig and the Brady Bunch theme.
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my word. What they mean, what they say. Mother.
This is great.
And they're showing some Brady Bunch, I don't know, the hokey pokey dance they did in the living room. I forgot how ridiculous this sitcom was.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's the kind of party you had before internet.
I can't wait for the chorus. Wow.
But if you want to find hell with me,
Here we go.
I can show you what it's like. Gotta bleed out.
Wow. 2 thumbs up.
Wow.
You know what's weird? I guess I couldn't even picture in how the music, the instrumental music to the Brady Bunch sounds. It's so weird hearing it without the song.
Yeah.
Like the backing track is not as, I don't know, it's just like, it doesn't sound right. It's weird without the vocals.
And it is, Steve, as you said many times, it's eventually you're going to play the same song somebody else played because there's only so many songs that can be played.
Right.
From a musical standpoint, so many chords or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's so weird that mashes up. I would never have thought that, So do you think Danzig was a Brady Bunch fan? Somehow that was in his head, and he just somehow...
I don't even know. Why would you even think that?
Yeah, no. I just think this was a bored dude.
This is a guy that just smoked a lot of pot. And just something. I don't think Danzig was listening and be like, what would work is this Brady Bunch song.
Well, you get stuff in your head, though, you know what I mean, as you put together your songs. And the fact that those go together so well, I don't know what the original music of that, what underneath, but the fact that they go together so much...
No, it's just a happy coincidence. There's no chance in hell.
Oh, you don't think? No chance?
No.
He wasn't a Brady Bunch fan?
I mean, he might have been a Brady Bunch fan, but that had nothing to do with the music to Danzig's Mother.
Yeah, and with a lot of those mashups, you have to slow up the vocals, or you have to
pitch it.
Yeah, pitch it differently. So even though it sounds like it mashes up perfectly, maybe it didn't.
But I want to create my own world.
That works.
I finally have something in common with
watch.
You guest starred on the Brady Bunch one time.
We find an interview from Danzig from 1993, and he's just like, what was the inspiration behind Mother? It was the Brady Bunch. The song's about Florence Henderson.
Yeah, I know sometimes in the world of comedy, some guy will think that he had this greatest bit, not realizing that 5-7 years ago he was watching somebody do a bit and it was the same thing.
But no, don't get it twisted, man. Like the music to Danzig's Mother is nothing at all like the music to the Brady Bunch. I was just saying that it's weird hearing the Brady Bunch music without the actual singing because
Yeah, you're
it
right
sounds
about
like a
that.
completely different song.
Yeah, you're right. It is
Yeah.
weird to hear. Yeah, you're absolutely right. To not hear vocals, you're just like, oh, man. Well, congratulations to everybody involved. Janzig, check out the video on the BJ and Migs page. I think you're going to find it to be, just an amazing thing.
Especially when you're stoned
Yeah.
on a Friday.
Good old stonage on a Friday. Well, we've got a Reddit user that was banned from the website. And Danzig's not to blame, but Metallica is to blame. Them damn rock and rollers. Steve's got the Migs report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Beacon Plumbing, Heating, Septic, and Mechanical for giving us the Migs Report. And today, it's a very special day. It's Earth Day.
All right, yeah.
Celebrate the Earth.
Oh, yeah, save the planet.
Might I recommend listening to Little Dicky's song Earth, which, if you've never heard, is the greatest song ever.
We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home.
And by greatest, I mean it's completely a ridiculous song.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video for this, BJ?
I have not.
So he basically enlisted every single pop star known to man to be in this music video. I'm talking from the Justin Biebers to the Katy Perrys, to
Really?
Zac Brown to Miley Cyrus. They're all in this music video, and all they are voices of animals. So they all like kind of introduce themselves and just say a little blurb about why they're cool. So like Justin Bieber's like, "Hey, I'm a baboon," and then he just is there just doing baboon things. It's so dumb. He's like, "I'm like a man, just less advanced, and my butt is huge."
Oh, there
This
we
is
go.
a different word. And it's
wow.
Ariana Grande is a zebra. Miley Cyrus is an elephant in this video. Katy Perry is a pony. Your boy Lil Yachty.
Yeah?
Remember him? From
Oh, Little
yesterday?
Yachty, yeah, Mr. McDonald's.
You became a big fan of Lil Yachty. Well, he plays the role of HPV. That's sexually transmitted disease.
Okay, Little Yachty.
But the best one is Kevin Hart plays the role of Kanye West.
Oh, no.
Throughout all this, like, I'm a baboon, I'm this, I'm that. And then it's, hi, I'm Kanye West. You're like, you got Kanye in this? And then you look at the list of the celebrities that he got into this music video, and it's Kevin Hart playing the role of Kanye
Oh,
West.
that's fantastic.
Snoop Dogg's in it. He's a pot plant.
How old is this video?
2019.
Oh, okay, so it's relatively new. Well, I've never seen this, and it's well done.
Oh, it's amazing. It's especially fun if, like, you've maybe enjoyed Earth Day on 420.
Yeah.
I recommend watching this music video. And there's a kid-friendly version of it, too. So if you want to watch it with your kids, you can watch the kid, which I think is hilarious that Lil Dicky made a kid-friendly version of this video.
Well,
And lyrically, it's also cleaner.
yeah, I mean, it looks like an animated cartoony thing, so, CGI thing, so I could see why maybe he did us a favor.
It's like a trailer for, like, a Pixar film
Yeah.
about the Earth.
And that
Lil
way-
Dicky's just hanging out, riding all the animals.
So if you get caught watching this, you can go, oh, yeah, I'll show you. Hold on, let's go to your thing, and you load up the kid-friendly
There's
one.
Lil Yachty. He's HPV.
Oh,
Don't let
there he
me in.
is. Good job, Little Yachty.
It's just
Yeah.
so stupid, but my favorite thing to watch on Earth Day. All right, let's talk about Metallica. They didn't do anything wrong, actually. It's a guy on Reddit was talking about Metallica's debut album, Kill 'Em All, and it got him banned for life.
Oh, wow.
So I guess there's a Megadeth subreddit where people were debating about which band of the big four are the best. And if you don't know, in the world of like thrash metal and heavy metal, there's four bands that people always say is like the top four thrash metal bands, and that's Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, and Metallica. And there's always debates on which one was better. Well, this one guy's like, yo, it's Metallica, and it's all because, from an objective standpoint, it's because of Kill 'Em All. Well, the problem is that on the internet these days, because they're trying to like make sure people aren't threatening people and with violence and things, I think they must have like like bots that pay attention.
100%, yeah, they do.
I know they do that on Twitter. Well, apparently it's on Reddit as well. So the guy got a message from Reddit that just said, hey, you've been permanently banned from violating Reddit's rule against threatening violence with the content that you were talking about. We don't tolerate any of this kind of stuff. And it's like, I'm just talking about the record Kill 'Em All. I didn't say I was going to kill anybody.
That's why a lot of people, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, instead of saying the word kill, they now say unalive because of these bots. Yeah, so you'll hear a lot of people say unalive.
Well, apparently now people like Metallica fans, when they talk about Kill 'Em All on Reddit, they just write KEA.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I know on Twitter, it's funny because, I obviously follow a lot of wrestling people, and a lot of them are posting like, I just got banned from Twitter because they were doing their story on Twitter with like whoever they're wrestling, like, hey, I'm going to kick your ass on Saturday.
Oh.
And Twitter's like, you can't do that. It's like, well, no, we're pretend kicking each other's ass.
Yeah, because you're asking the internet to police itself, and they don't have enough people to do it, so it's bot time.
Yep.
And that's the sucky part about humans that just can't get along.
That'd be great. It's like, this Saturday, watch out, brother. I'm going to, in parentheses, pretend kick your ass.
That's it, yeah. That's what you got to do now.
All right, well, this wasn't pretend, and this is pretty messed up. It happened in California. A guy was arrested because, well, he walked into a hair salon, and I don't know if he was looking for a trim in that certain area. Oh. But he pulled something out and started taking care of himself with that certain item.
Okay, that's a little bit more than a trim.
And he's just sitting there, like...
Oh, wow.
Is he vaping?
No, it looks like he's got his phone, and he looks like he's filming the reactions.
I wasn't sure if he was vaping or if it was like maybe he had asthma. And like he was like...
So wait, he's filming. He's filming their reactions?
Yeah, there's the camera.
Yeah.
While he's taking care of himself.
Well, here's one of the employees from the salon, Fiona, talking about what happened.
Sat in our chairs right behind us, and from there, the public indecency incident happened. Like just fully publicly masturbating in front of the salon. We called the cops 10 minutes later, and he was still going. And we called the cops 10 minutes after that, and he had just departed, and the cops didn't show up for another 10 minutes.
That's a long time. Jeez. But also, if I'm a cop, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there.
Yeah.
Isn't there some other crime I can handle? I don't want to deal with slapping Sammy over there.
Were the cops afraid of getting there prematurely?
We love the earth.
Yeah.
It is our plan.
Yeah.
What is wrong with... I mean, the dude's just sitting there looking like he's just on the phone with like...
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just having a normal conversation while he's taking care of himself.
I would not have known that he was taking care of himself because he didn't have that. He just looked like his face looked normal to me.
Right, from the waist up.
I would not know. I'm not sure what, and I'm not. Again, because we didn't see. I don't even know. He doesn't even look like he's interested.
No, it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
I'd quit my job, I think, if that happened. I'd be like, you know what? Today's my last day. I'll cut hair somewhere else.
It's just what in your brain, it's just like there's so many things that people have fetishes for. Why is that wiring in your brain the only way you can have a good time is to do something like that?
I don't know, but man, that's just not cool. No. That's for sure. There's a guy that got busted for having 500 pounds of weed, and the reason why? Got into a car accident and all the weed spilled out on the highway, BJ.
Oh, man, that was a lucky day for some people.
So there's a driver of a semi that was trying to avoid a wreck on I guess it happened in Missouri on a freeway. And it also happened on Wednesday, which was April 20th.
Oh, of course.
Now, luckily, no one was hurt because, the semi stopped and a car hit the semi, and there was also a pickup truck that got hit as well. It was a big pileup. Well, the pickup truck had 500 pounds of illegal marijuana in it.
Oh, boy.
So then it was all over the road, and a couple guys got arrested. I got concerned for a second because I'm reading the story, and one of the dudes that got arrested was Dave Navarro. And I'm like, the dude from the Chili Peppers or Jane's Addiction? No, it's a 24-year-old guy.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's not him. But they're in trouble. Mariners are in trouble.
Why? What happened?
What? Dude, they blew a 5-0 lead.
Oh, that's not
They were up 5-0 in the first inning, and then it's just like, I'm like, this is awesome. And as the game went along, next thing you know, they're down 6-5 against the Texas Rangers. You're like, you got to be kidding me. 8th inning, they score a run. The game is tied, BJ. I'm like, crap, I need to go to bed. I'm exhausted. I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to check my phone first thing and be happy to see that the Mariners won. Well, boy, oh boy, I was wrong, and I'm glad I didn't stay awake because they ended up losing 8-6.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I was not happy about that. Also not happy with the umpires. I don't know if you watched the game.
I did not. What did they do?
Apparently, Julio Rodriguez, his strike zone is just his entire body. It's like they were calling strikes on him that were just like, are you kidding me? Now, granted, also he was not swinging at certain ones where I'm like, come on, Julio. You got to do it. But, man, there was a couple, and not just him, a couple Mariner players. I'm like, man, this is a very large strike zone. To the point where people are on Twitter like, yeah, it's time. Robots. We need robots doing the strikes for the baseball games.
It's very frustrating. Hopefully, the only thing you hope is he was consistent and did the same thing to the Rangers. But if he didn't, then it's really frustrating.
I was, I'm a homer, so I'm watching it. And I'm just like, hey, shit, that would have been a strike if it was a Mariner there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can't confirm it.
Sometimes that is the case, though. Sometimes that's why managers get tossed. They're just like, you are not in, or the catchers will turn around and go, come on, ump, you've got to call that for us, too.
I was thinking, like, come on, manager, get out there and yell and get kicked out of the game like a good manager should.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Anyways, Mariners, they're done with the Texas Rangers. Now they move on to hosting the Kansas City Royals. You can watch that game. It's at 6:40. The game starts tonight, so let's hope the strike zone shrinks and the Mariners win again, BJ.
I blame the president. He was in town and gave us bad luck.
You're absolutely right.
Yep, I blame him.
Yep. Well, he needs to get the hell out of here because Kraken are taking on Minnesota. Well, granted, it's not here; it's in Minnesota, so I guess you can stay here. But
all right,
that's
then.
5 o'clock game. Anyway. That's nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
Even though it's Friday, so it's not as...
Yeah, for a lot of us, it doesn't... Yeah, you can stay up late.
Sad news in the world of hockey, man. I don't know if do you remember Guy Lafleur?
Yes.
Flower?
Oh, wow. I skated on Bauer all my life. That was his commercial.
Yeah, and I grew up watching him. I mean, he was known for being a Montreal Canadian, mainly. He won 5 cups with them. But he got traded eventually to the New York Rangers, and when I was a kid, I used to go to a lot of Rangers games because my buddy had season tickets. Well, his aunt did, and she didn't really go to games, so she just gave us the tickets a lot. And I grew up watching Guy Lafleur, and I loved that dude. He wouldn't even play with a helmet. He had a sick flow and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly passed away, 70 years old.
Hey, remember I told you, I don't know if you know my origin story for getting into radio, is I would call a sports station trying to win Red Sox tickets and lost them. And I would do impressions, of one of our hockey guys interviewing Guy Lafleur.
I don't remember this at all.
Well, I never said the names. I just said that I would do impressions trying to win tickets.
Okay. Right.
I've told that. Well, maybe I haven't told the story in the radio, but every time anybody ever asked me in interviews, like, how'd you get in the business? I would say I'd get down in my basement at 15 years old, and I'd call radio stations to win Red Sox tickets, and that was how I first got on the radio. But it was always Guy Lafleur. And there was this guy, Johnny Pearson, who had a very weird way of speaking himself. And so when they both did interviews, it was like you couldn't understand either one of them because of Guy's accent.
Yeah.
And Johnny just going, and Guy would go, and that's how I would get on the radio. And I'd win tickets. And that was my French at the time.
There's that quality content.
So Guy Lafleur was the guy that I always did, so I totally remember Guy.
Glad to see our impressions have not gotten better since Well, yeah, sad news, man. A true great on the ice.
Yeah, he was.
And what a weird, this last week, I mean, a couple of hockey players I grew up, I remember being big fans of. Mike Bossy last week passed away.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Islander legend as well, won a bunch of cups with them. And my fun story about Mike Bossy was, you remember KB Toys, the old toy store. When I was a kid, we went there, my mom and I, and they had Wayne Gretzky action figure, like one of those big 12-inch dolls or whatever, figurines, whatever you want to call them. And I remember being my mom's like, "Do you want it?" Because she knew I loved hockey, and I'm like, "No, I want a Mike Bossy one." And I'm asking the guy behind the counter. I'll never forget him looking at me like, "Buddy, we don't have Mike Bossy. All we have is Wayne Gretzky. They don't make a Mike Bossy." I'm like, "Well, I want a Mike Bossy one." He's like, "Yeah, you're not kidding."
Yeah, kid.
So I leave disappointed. And then I look back on it several years later, and you see that very Wayne Gretzky doll was worth a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh.
Because it was it wasn't a ton of them were made.
You probably would have violated it, though, because you were not,
it's just like my Kiss action figures. Everyone was like, they're worth so much money. I'm like, not when you cut their hair and use a nail file to try and get their makeup off.
Which was very odd for a child.
Well, I wanted to see what he looked like as a regular dude.
Did you? Or did you want to peel his face off?
Gosh, right?
No, that's the only way you can get the damn makeup off, guys.
Oh, is that
not as weird as you think?
Steve, the face peeler.
Feels weird.
Yeah, they didn't look like how they really...
No, they probably looked like burn victims when you were done with them. They probably looked like Buffalo Bill had a run at them.
Poor Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as weather, it's going to be a beautiful day. A beautiful day to take a nail file to your Kiss action figures. 58 degrees, going to have some sun, some clouds, and thanks to Kia Pua for giving us the Mix Report, and that's what's up.
Yeah, you weren't disturbing at all.
Oh, man, but I remember when I saw, when I became an adult and saw, how much those Wayne Gretzky dolls were worth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am so stupid. I should, that would have been amazing to have one of those.
Yeah, I wonder, what kind of condition, because that's the thing. Everything I had as a kid, I didn't keep in good shape.
That's a good point.
All my baseball cards were destroyed.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna keep it in its box.
No.
You weren't thinking like that as a child.
No, yeah. Nowadays, yeah, you got to buy 2 of everything and just, but back then.
That's what my uncle would do, dude. My uncle would always, like he was a big Hess truck collector, like the Hess gas station. Every Christmas year, they would do like a collector's item, and he would get one that he can play with, like in a sense, like, you know, put batteries in and put it on display in the house. But then he would get like 3 or 4 to just put away in storage, and they were doing well for themselves. So they had a big house, but they had one room that legit was just filled with those Hess trucks.
Boy, I wonder how he did with that. Like, I have no idea what those trucks are worth.
You know, I don't know, because when he passed away, he hadn't sold them. So, I mean, my aunt at some point probably got rid of them, and I never bothered to ask. I felt that felt like a weird conversation. Like, hey, remember when your husband collected all these trucks? What did he get? What did you get for it? Like, that's like, I don't need to ask that question.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody knows. Because, I mean, I haven't heard a lot about the Hess trucks being worth a whole lot, but that doesn't mean they're not.
They were dude, that was like lines outside of a gas station to buy those trucks, and people were like, this is before eBay, obviously, but people were like losing their minds trying to get their hands on those things. Like, that was like, and he would get my brother and I one every year as like a gift.
Look at that.
I think he thought, well, maybe we'd follow in his footsteps and keep them in pristine condition. And
what year? Like, were they from the 60s and stuff? Or?
I bet he had them from the 60s.
Okay, because I was
80s for sure.
Like, looking at the 60s ones, and just a quick eBay search is about $350 for some of them.
That's not bad, but it's not like that big payday you hope for.
No, there's one right here going for about $800. They kind of vary between just like $30 to, looks like the top one is about $900.
Yeah, maybe at the time there was a little bit more of a demand because people physically were trying to get them, and they were getting shut out because they were only limited edition. But nowadays, probably people don't care.
Yeah. Well, if you have the original box, someone's offering one for the low price of $1,200.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, he kept everything in all the boxes.
Yeah, probably.
If he kept it pristine, then that's get some money there.
See, now you have a good reason to ask. Is she still with us?
Yes.
Yeah, now you have a good reason to ask. You go, look, I was online and I was wondering how you did with that. And then she can feel good or bad about it if, in fact, she goes, I don't know, I put them on the Goodwill.
I mean, Steve, we talk to each other maybe once a year, if that. And now you're calling me just to find out how much the Hess truck collection is going for?
You tell her I asked. Say, this guy's been bothering me for years, and so I figured I just want to shut him up, Auntie. Would you help me out? Do me a solid. This guy's an idiot. It's just blame it all on me.
Hey, how you doing? That's great. Let's talk about those Hess trucks.
I mean, let's be honest. Is it weather? You're going to talk about what? The popular news? You might as well talk about the Hess trucks. It was something that you both loved with the guy. She knew he did it. You knew he did it. It was your connection to the guy.
Yeah, but we're not we don't call each other to check up. Like, when we see each other, it's like catching up again, obviously. So next time I go home to visit family, and I see her maybe after maybe a couple of sips of Jack Daniels, my family likes to do, we'll have that conversation, BJ. I'll FaceTime you while have
it. Please do. Yeah, and remember, or you can have me do it and go, hi, listen, my friend just wants to ask you a question. He's been bothering me. And then you don't have to get involved.
Someone says my mom still buys my brother Hess trucks every year. Are they still doing it?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's their thing and they can make money doing it. I mean, if you could sell those trucks every year, why not make them and do it?
HessToyTruck.com.
I didn't even know Hess was still around.
Ooh, they got a big old choo-choo train plushie.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, they might have brought me back in.
Dude, that thing looks cool.
Hess has stepped it up. That could be Tatum's new toy.
Yeah.
That could be Tatum's new toy.
She does like trains.
Yeah, she does.
Could be my new toy.
You know what? Frosty just got kicked to the corner.
It's only $34.99 plus tax.
And batteries are included.
Oh, wow, well, now that's a deal. You should call your aunt and say, hey, listen, do you need this? Now you call her and go, can I add this to your collection? And speaking of the Hess collection, how much did you do with that?
That's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's safe for all ages, so it's. I can play with it then.
Good, thank God.
I'll get 2 now.
Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What actor plays the role of Cole Trickle in the 1990 movie Taste of Thunder?
Oh, that would be John C. Reilly?
No.
Will Ferrell?
No.
Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Yes, but what about Dick Trickle? Why wasn't he included? He was a real guy, and they didn't put him in that movie. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.